Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I hope you're doing fine and you have a few minutes to spare to engage with my video, which pertains to the cautionary tale of going down the digital road while avoiding taking wrong turns. I know that you have busy lives and you would rather engage in more productive activities than watch a video featuring yet another self-proclaimed expert telling you how to deal with digital transformation or teaching you how to get all those visits, downloads, or user engagement with your digital products and services with a few cheap tricks and some small hacks. Well, this ain't that kind of video. Simply because conceptualizing, designing, and developing a future-proof, scalable, and user-centric digital solution is never easy. In fact, it is more difficult than ever, given the plethora of competitive software products and services available in the market nowadays. Yet, not all is lost, and today I would like to tell you how to make sure your digital solution stands a fighting chance and how you can avoid some deadly traps of investing money, time, and precious resources in developing software products that are doomed to fail. Did I pique your interest? Then keep watching. I promise you it is worth your time. Oh, and before I proceed with elaborating on how the right technology stack, coupled with a well-designed digital solution concept, could play a pivotal role in your pursuit of technical excellence and your subsequent digital market domination, I would like to introduce myself. For those of you who still don't know me, I am Javier Sicelli, a co-founder and lead software engineer at Röck+Cöde, your software and marketing partner in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I'm a career freelance full stack mobile engineer with a penchant for new technologies. I often advise clients how to choose the appropriate tech stack and how to design and develop scalable and future-proof digital solutions. So, software design and architectures are some of my core competencies in my versatile portfolio, and coincidentally, some of the most critical stages in software product development. But before we delve into those complex matters, let's briefly examine the digital state of affairs and where we currently stand today. I will start this off with a quote. I borrow it from Jonathan Hickman, X-Men relaunch for Marvel Comics published last year. In a nutshell, this is about the end of an old dream and the need for a new one. And, ironically, this pithy morsel pretty much describes where we are right now. A self-fulfilling prophecy, don't you think? The mobile computer revolution started cautiously in the early 2000s, but it gained significant traction with the launch of the first iPhone, or the iPhone 2G, in 2008, and it has accelerated ever since. Over time, the rise of mobile spawned other fundamental revolutions in tablets, wearables, TV, automobile, home, Internet of Things, and other categories with no end in sight, all moving toward total interconnectivity. At the same time, computers and telecommunications networks have grown exponentially to the point that the Moore's law was broken. And yeah, more and more bandwidth is always required as it is never enough. As of May 2020, there are around 4.65 billion active Internet users, or 59.6% of the global population, and the numbers keep rising. Global retail e-commerce sales are expected to reach 6.54 trillion US dollars in 2023 from 3.53 trillion US dollars in 2019. That's almost a double increase in just 4 years. The last month have eliminated the final barriers to digital transformation. In fact, almost all businesses, including my local butcher shop, have been forced to either wake up, smell the 21st century, and go digital to cater to the demands of their customers, or just go extinct. Yet, even organizations who have embraced digital transformation have been facing challenges of varying proportions. But why is that? The simple answer is that next to businesses with no digital presence whatsoever, there are those who have been struggling to assert their online existence by offering digital products or services of mediocre or poor quality, which don't live up to the expectations of their end users. Yet, an honorable mention goes to all those organizations that have digital solutions which their customers and end users love to use. Those are the ones to look up to and learn from. But let's back down for a second. What on earth is digital transformation and how does it affect us? Well, according to the Gartner Group, there are three different processes that power the online endeavors of businesses. Digitization, which is the technical process of changing from analog to digital form. Digitalization, which is the use of digital technologies and information to transform business operations and provide new revenue and value producing opportunities. And digital transformation, which is the organizational requirement to deal with change towards a customer driven strategic business using the implementation of digital technologies. Okay, so we got those concepts out of the way. And now for the real impact of the digital triumvirate. In theory, enterprises that manage to implement and coordinate these interconnected processes have a real chance to offer valuable digital products or services to their customers and end users. Yet, the reality is way different, as the digital world is full of solutions that simply don't work or don't function as expected. The number of apps in app stores as of May 2020, as illustrated in this slide, is simply mind-boggling. Yet, how many of those do you have installed on your devices? More importantly, how many of those do you really use? And this is where the crux of the matter really lies. How can an organization conceive, design, and develop future-proof, scalable, and user-centered digital products and services? The answer to this billion-dollar question, as always, is a bit convoluted. Too many strategic angles and variables in the mix. Nonetheless, there are two critical aspects to be considered: conceptualization and the technology stack. So, conceptualization. What is this and why should we care? In a nutshell, conceptualization is the very cornerstone of a successful digital product or service. It is more than just an idea, a thought, a feeling, or a dream. It is a complex process that distills the essence of your envisioned digital consumer and end-user champion. And it covers multiple critical angles, including what is the genuine or perceived problem that it aims to solve. How can a digital solution be offered with a compelling story? Why should a solution be offered? Who is your target audience? Mind you, this list of attributes of a successful digital solution I've just mentioned is not extensive. Yet, I will not go into details of concept development, as this is a subject that falls outside the scope of this video. Yet, there are a few takeaway tips related to the process of conceptualizations that you should remember. Number one, it is of paramount importance that you meticulously define your product or service on a conceptual level and establish a vision for its design, development, and potential improvement in the foreseeable future. Moreover, you must test your concept with sketches or wireframes or prototypes with your target audience, and it can help you correct your course or completely change your direction if necessary. Number two, the better defined and more user-centric your concept is, the easier it would be to tweak and improve over time. It goes without saying that you stand a real chance to strike gold. Number three, bad concepts inevitably result in bad digital solutions that tend to fail no matter how rock solid your technology stack is. Number four, competitive pressure is the real enemy. In fact, sometimes businesses decide to create a digital solution because their competitors already offer it or are about to launch it. Yet, doing so without a particular user-centered take on the problem would most probably doom your product or service to fail from the get-go. Now that we clear the conceptualization level, we can move on to the technology stack. As usual, we have to get our definition straight. In fact, what is a technology stack and why it is important to your digital solution? In short, a technology stack or a tech stack is the set of hardware, software, and services technologies used in combination to build and support, both directly and indirectly, your digital products and services. Okay, all clear now. Great. Usually, the stack consists of two main components, the server side and the client side, or you may know them as backend and frontend. Now, I won't go into details and focus on the intricacies of choosing a technology stack, as the number of technical choices is overwhelming. Trust me, this rabbit hole is virtually bottomless. Yet, it must be noted that if you define your digital solution from a product, business, design, and technical standpoints, it is possible to narrow the choices to a manageable number of technologies. Still, it has to be pointed out that not all the technologies fit the bill, despite the fact that they might look attractive in terms of cost and the time it takes to design and develop the digital solution. Actually, and this is extremely important, and possibly the single takeaway tip worth remembering, the tech stack is the base on which your solution is built. Therefore, the choice of technology has a significant impact on how your solution works, how it scales, and how it behaves in the future. As you can imagine, the decision behind the mix of technologies in the early stages of your project largely depend on the kind of product or service you want to offer to your users, and it ultimately influences its degree of success in the long term. Given the fact that not every piece of technology was created equal, it's wise to understand the pros and cons of the stack of choice before you start building your digital solution. But why? Well, so you can make informed decisions about your stack based on your current and future needs, in view of the strengths and weaknesses of the technologies you may want to rely on. And this is a pure game of strategy in terms of efficiency, scalability, performance, and the type of user experience you want to deliver. In truth, it is a sheer strategic choice to define how your solution will be presented to your users. Will it be a third-party framework, an API endpoint service, a simple website, an application for mobile or web, desktop, wearables, TV, embed devices, or a partial or full-blown combination of all of the above? Needless to say, a stack can evolve organically, but then again, nothing is constant. In fact, your requirements and needs may change completely over time. Thus, making significant changes to your stack always entails a huge investment of time, money, and resources. It should be emphasized that the technology comprising your tech stack undergo constant cycles of change and improvement. So, your digital solution should go with those changes rather than clash with them. Yet, if abrupt alterations in the technologies used affect your software product and no middle ground can be found, then you should look for alternatives. If your digital solution is firmly rooted in the front end, you have to make sure your designs follow the recommended design guidelines. Moreover, respecting commonly accepted design patterns already provides you with a solid design base that will simplify both current development and upcoming upgrades. And the welcome bonus here is sticking to design guidelines boosts your user experience. The truth is that it's hard to commit to the future of a digital solution in terms of scalability and performance. In fact, issues related to its scalability can be of technical, organizational, or business nature. On the other hand, aspects related to the performance of a digital solution are usually a product of application design, but those could also stem from the limitations of a technology choice or third-party dependencies. At the end of the day, neither your customers nor your end users care about how your tech stack has been designed and built. All they care about is whether you can offer quality digital products and services that work for them. So, those are some of the insights and practical tips that I wanted to share with you today. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of you for watching the video from the beginning to the end. Hopefully you watch it. Moreover, I will be happy to continue the discussion about the efforts you make to meet the challenges of digital transformation in the comments below. And I'm sure you have a lot of practical pieces of advice to add to this thread. In addition, if you like this video, you're more than welcome to like it, love it, share it, or show it to your boss. Thanks for watching, and until next time.